I was house sitting for my grandmother one weekend while she was in Florida with some of her church friends. I was sleeping in the guest bedroom next to her room, which always had two twin beds, the ones my brother and I used when we had sleepovers at her house. I chose the bed next to the window, but before I got into bed, I made sure to check all the doors to ensure they were locked. Once I settled in, I didn't fall asleep right away. I spent about an hour on my phone, watching videos and texting people. That's when I started hearing something odd outside. It sounded like a woman's voice saying hello repeatedly, every 10 seconds or so. I quietly left the bedroom and slowly made my way toward the front door, trying to listen carefully. It definitely sounded like a woman's voice calling hello. As I got closer to the front door, I realized that was where the sound was coming from. My grandma's front door doesn't have a peephole, but the windows in the dining room gave a clear view of the front porch. I went over to the window and tried to peek through the blinds without being obvious, but I guess I wasn't discreet enough. I saw her, an older woman standing on the porch, staring directly at me as if she had been waiting for me to look. She smiled creepily and said hello again. This woman was in her late 50s or early 60s, but she didn't look like a sweet, harmless old lady. There was something about her face that just creeped me out. I quickly backed away from the window, wondering if maybe it was one of my grandma's friends, but why would anyone be out there at midnight? Why wasn't she knocking on the door or ringing the bell? Why was she just standing there, repeatedly saying hello? I was genuinely unsettled, so I went back to the guest bedroom and shut the door this time, hoping to feel safer. I couldn't hear the woman anymore, but I was still shaken up. I started texting my friends and my sister, telling them about the bizarre situation. Time passed in silence, and I started to calm down a little. My sister suggested I call Grandma, but I knew there was no way she'd be awake, and she rarely checked her phone anyway. Just as I was starting to relax, I heard it. A loud bang on the window. Not a knock, but a forceful bang. I felt a surge of adrenaline, and my body went into fight or flight mode. The banging stopped, but then I heard that same voice saying hello again. With a rush of adrenaline, I quickly grabbed the blinds and lifted them. There, standing just outside the window, was the same creepy older woman, only a thin sheet of glass between us. I screamed at her, telling her I was calling the cops. I quickly pulled the blinds back down and ran to the living room, then upstairs to the guest bedroom, locking myself in. I didn't actually call the police. I don't know why, but I just wanted to wait it out. A couple of hours passed, and I finally went back downstairs to check the windows again. The woman seemed to be gone. The next morning, I called my grandma to tell her what had happened. She immediately started shouting into the phone, sounding panicked and distressed. She told me about a strange woman who had been following her around in a grocery store a few days earlier, smiling at her for no apparent reason. I tried to calm her down, but the way she reacted gave me chills. I'm still not sure if the woman I saw was connected to the one my grandma encountered, but I can't shake the thought that it might have been the same person.